Welcome back to my workshop. I'm Paul from Paul.bike, and this is a fat bike wheel. There are plenty of videos online on how to set up a road or mountain bike tire for tubeless. It's fairly well known, lots of great videos. Just search on YouTube, you'll find something. Fat bike wheels though, I found a few videos and they all don't really cover some of the major challenges that I find exist when I'm setting up a fat bike wheel. So this is a brand new light bicycle, 80 millimeter Recon Pro single wall fat bike rim laced to a Hope Fat Snow. This is a 150 mil wide front wheel. And we're gonna set this up tubeless. The first step is a fairly easy one. I'm just gonna like time lapse this part, which is rim tape. Make sure you have the right rim tape for the rim. The only rim tape that I found that's any good for fat bikes is Whiskey Parts Co. I believe it's Whiskey Parts Co. This is an 80 millimeter wide rim strip for 80 millimeter wide rims. Because of the way tubeless tires go and the way the channels dip down, you really want to get the right width so that your tape seals in the center. So first we find the valve. You want a little bit of overlap, so I'm going to run this couple of spoke holes up from the valve. Make sure it's sealed nice over. Apply even tension. There we go. I've gotten over the valve hole and run it a little bit over. Seat it down well. And then what I like to do is run my fingernails over the sides. It's well taped there. Same for the other side. Let's find where the valve hole is. Now, I'm gonna grab our pick. Get that in there. This is not a new tire. This is a Maxxis, what is this? Minion. It's the front one, and somewhere on here is tire direction. Somewhere, there it is. And so I don't get myself confused, that is the rotating direction. Okay, we are gonna get this on. Now we got the tire on. Now we're going to put in an inner tube. Yes. Why? Because I like to seat, like do a dry run, seat my fat bike rims or any rims before putting in any sealant or anything like that. And doing that on a fat bike rim is really tricky. The bead just likes to kind of gravitate to the center of the rim, and because these rims are so wide, you end up having a lot of play, and it just doesn't work very well. All right, we have our inner tube mounted. The beads all the way in the rim. Take our inflator. You don't need an inflator for this if you don't have one. A standard bike pump will do fine. So we're gonna inflate this tire all the way to its max recommended pressure. So you heard that pop. That pop meant the bead is sealed on both sides. Now we're going to let all the air out. In fact, this has a removable valve core, even though it's an inner tube, which makes this process much easier. So I'll leave that aside and let all this air out. Whoa. That is interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Well, we are going to remove the bead on only one side now. So it goes. You don't want to use any tools for this, like tire irons or anything like that. If you have a carbon rim, do not recommend. You want to do this by hand. There we go. Bead broken. Let's get it off all the way around. Make sure it's still seated on the one side. It is. One other advantage of using the inner tube to seat the bead is it also presses the rim tape against the rim, ensuring a better seal and less problems getting your tubeless tire to hold its air. Right. Let's put away our fat bike inner tube for the next fat bike tubeless setup. We have a muck off tubeless valve core. These are definitely my favorite. I find, especially with the replaceable little collars that they come with, that set of collars, makes it really nice to get just the right fit for your rim. All right. Get this tire back on this rim again. There we go. And so now one of the beads is on. And that is fantastic because getting that other side is going to be difficult as well. So if I were to try to inflate this right now, I'm going to take this valve core out and get on my inflator. And so we have one bead already seated. And we're going to try to do a dry run of the other bead. I'm just going to try to inflate this. And nothing's going to happen. That did not inflate. And the reason it didn't inflate is because with the rim this wide, that bead is just sitting too far into the rim. So, a yoga strap. This is sort of a thing that I found through lots of trial and error that works best on getting a tubeless tire set up. Wrap this around the entire tire. And this will add some pressure onto the tire, bringing that bead just a little bit closer to the rim, allowing us to get it to seat. I find if you pinch it out a little bit too, it gets that bead closer to the rim edge. Now, you don't have to use a yoga strap if you don't have one. A rope is fine. Anything you can find that will allow you to tighten that tire on. Let's try it again. There we go. Now, of course, if you've done this dry run to get your tire seated before anything else, you're going to have to inject the tubeless sealant directly through the valve core. Through the valve. I'm using muck off. It's okay. I'll do a review on tire sealant later. I haven't been too impressed with this stuff. I have an old Stans injector. There are better kinds right now. You probably want the kind where the tube is thinner and goes into the valve, so you're not actually getting sealant on the valve, but I don't have one right now, so I will use this one. This one just threads on to the outside of the valve. I'm going to use 120 mil, so 2 shots of this into the tire to start. If I have problems getting it to seal, I'll put in more. All right, you want to put the valve on the top when I'm screwing the injector so that You don't get that crap all over yourself. Find the valve core. Stick it onto there. Get our valve core tool, make sure it's on nice and tight. And here's our sharp inflator. Again. Voila! Don't hear any obvious signs of pressure being released. Sometimes you have to do this, you know, again, like you'll put this tire down, look at it the next day or a few hours later and it's completely flat. Yeah, you gotta give this a few bounces. But here you go. One fully set up fat bike tire. Hopefully this was helpful. I expect yoga strap sales to skyrocket now. All you tubeless fat bikers. There's my cap, the final thing. And that is that. We are done. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe.